Good morning, good morning, good morning. How are you guys doing? I hope that you guys are having a great weekend, Sunday, whatever. Um, I just want to talk to people who are feeling some kind of way this holiday season. Okay, I'm not gonna get on here and bash Christmas. Um, if you know me, I'm not really bashing anything. It's just I don't do the Christmas thing like that. I understand that it's supposed to be a time of year where people spread the Christmas cheer and joy. But uh, I guess my biggest problem with it is that it's temporary and it's somewhat fake. You know what I mean? It's like we just all of a sudden the last 2 months of the year we get real loving and kind and thankful and sweet, and we want to help the poor and all of this stuff. And it can leave a lot of people who aren't feeling it or who aren't able for whatever reason to participate in it. And some people just choose, they've made the decision to not be a part of it. And you got to respect people wherever people are and their boundaries. And, if they don't want to do something and they don't want to participate in it, you can't force people to participate in something that they just don't want to participate in. And I'm talking to the people who feel like, I guess, depressed or feeling left out or feeling like, oh, because I don't have the tree and I don't have the presents. And I just, some people don't really even care about the tree or the presents or being able to see family. I mean, yeah, it's always nice to be able to see family, but if you can't, you can't, or you wait to see them uh, for another time of year when the tickets are cheaper and the traffic is less hectic. You understand? Um, but invariably, every year, it happens where people start feeling just left out and depressed because they participate in the so-called festivities where I don't see in the Bible where we're supposed to participate in these festivities. But anyway, I want to talk to you guys. Okay, at the end of the day, we have to just kind of grin and bear it. Okay. um there are things that you can do. There are things that you can keep your mind occupied with so that you're not focused on this. And the greatest inoculation from being depressed or allowing yourself to become depressed or, the holiday woes or whatever people want to call it, is just to be thankful. Uh, I haven't celebrated Christmas in over 20 years. I haven't had a Christmas tree. I haven't bought a Christmas present. Um, I just said, no, I'm not doing it. It doesn't make sense. I did it over 20 years ago, and that one time I did it, it was just crazy. It was chaos. It was confusion. It didn't work out the way that everybody else said that it's supposed to work out. And then, other people, they think, oh, well, if other people could come in and be charitable and give you a Christmas tree and give you gifts and give you this and give you that, then it'll make you feel better. No, it won't. It really, really doesn't do it. Maybe, and I understand I don't have small kids anymore, okay? Um, but even when I had kids that were of age where they could, you would think that I mean, all kids enjoy having gifts. Don't get me wrong. But I'm going to say, like my grandma used to say, and she was not telling one word of lie. She said, why I got to wait till December to give my grandbabies gifts? Why I got to wait till November to cook for my grandbabies? I could do that all year long. And that's how she used to say it too. And now that I'm a grandmother, I understand exactly what she's talking about. It's like, I don't have to wait till the end of the year to show how much I love my grandkids. If their mothers allow me to be in their lives, I could pour out a whole lot of love to them. But that's another video for another time. But anyway, oh God, it's just, I want to, don't allow what this season projects to make you feel inadequate, or make you feel like you're less than, or make you feel like you're missing out on something, or make you feel like you're rejected, lonely, you know, just think about what is going right for you. Think about things that God has manifested in your life. You got a roof over your head. You have food to eat. You have clothes on your back. You have your health, your strength. You're still in the land of the living. There's something that everybody could be thankful for. I promise you, a lot of the illnesses, mental illnesses that people suffer from, it begins. It begins when people when they forget what God has done for them, and they start becoming ungrateful. You understand what I'm saying to you? Romans 1 talks about that. Being unthankful. And then being unthankful opens up the door to all kind of other bad feelings and spirits. And I know people don't like to talk about the demonic, and people may think I focus on it too much, but I don't. It's not that I focus on it too much, but it's a reality. It's a reality. Okay? I've struggled with mental illness before. I've dealt with people with mental illness before, and I've seen manifestations of the demonic in them. I've seen manifestations of the demonic in people who are addicted to drugs, who are addicted to alcohol. I've seen demons manifest. Okay? And people want to make like the demonic is not real. It is real. And I promise you that it's a demon that makes people depressed, especially if you don't have anything to be depressed for. I mean, if you suffered the loss of a loved one, or loss of a job, or a loss of any kind, or I don't know. If something has happened where, hey, okay, I understand why they feel the way they feel. But if you haven't had none of these things happen in your life, yet you still are depressed, baby, that is something that is not, that is demonic. And you need to get that spirit up off of you. You need to get cast out of you. You need to rebuke that spirit. When you know that there's no reason why, and yet you still feeling some kind of way, then you know that is an attack from the enemy. You don't have to listen to me, lady, whatever, but I'm telling you what I know. Excuse me. So you have to fight that. And I'm trying to give you practical ways to fight it, but the ultimate way to fight it is to pray, rebuke the enemy, and then you start praise Yah for what he has done in your life. You got to remember, my dad just told me about a song, reminded me about a song that we don't even sing in church no more. But we used to sing it all the time as little kids. Count your blessings, name them one by one. Count your blessings, see what the Lord has done. Count your blessings, name them one by one. Count your many blessings, see what the Lord has done. Baby, that's real. Count your blessings. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. List them. Get a piece of paper and a pen and list everything that God has done in your life. Just sit down and reflect. Sit down and think about everything that God has done. And I promise you, as the list grows longer, and I promise you it will, just sit there and think about it for a while. And as that list grows, you're going to be like, hey, Yah has really been there for me and my family. And I promise you, the more that you think about it and the more you reflect on it and you think back to where you were when God did that for you, and you think back to, I don't know how God will get me out of this. But he did, didn't he? Didn't he do it? Ah! Didn't he do it, children? Yes, he did. He did it. So if he did it then, he'll do it again. spirit, they ain't the spirit of Yah either. I'm gonna say it. Because the Christmas spirit will make it, oh, you feel good and you happy and you joyous and you thankful and you compassionate and you empathetic, as long as you could do A, B, C, or D. As long as you have a Christmas tree plopped up in your window so you can show it off to everybody. As long as you have some lights so you can do the competitive thing. And who has the best Christmas display on the street? As long as you have gifts under the Christmas tree so that when your people come over, you be like, oh, they're so good parents. They saw the Christmas that they did for their kids. Oh, it only depends upon whether you got a big old dinner to give to everybody so that everybody can leave and talk about how dry your turkey was. Then that determines if you have the Christmas spirit and if you have the joy of Christmas. That determines, and what determines you have Christmas spirit is if you got how many $20 toys from the dollar store you got under your tree. That's gonna make your kids feel good. And them $20 toys, they're gonna break them up before New Year's. And some of those toys ain't $20. Some of them are a few $100s. Well, we do this every year. I see people do it every year. And if they can participate in all of this and whatever, then that determines whether they have joy or not. That determines if they're whatever. And it's crazy to me. That should not be the factor on whether or not you have joy. Okay? That should not be the factor of not or whether you are thankful. I'm thankful as long as I could be gluttonous at the end of the year and have this big old sprawled out dinner to show to everybody that I'm thankful. That, in other words, if all I have is noodles and bologna, and I don't eat either one, by the way, but if all I have is noodles and bologna to chump on for the rest of the year, then that means I don't have any reason to be grateful. If I don't get to see my people, even though some of my people get on my nerves, now let's be real now, come on. Then that means that I don't have any reason to be joyful. And you know, as soon as you see those people, your spirit man gonna be vexed. Some of the people you want to see that molested everybody in the family. But people go into debt to see these people. People that cause you pain and torment. And nobody don't say nothing. I've seen it. It's been done in my family. When Winona refused, I said, hey, I got rent to pay. I got a car note. I got to pay my light bill. I got to feed my kids. I got to make sure that in January my kids got somewhere to stay. I ain't got time to play the world that I love and want to be around you when I know that you ain't nothing but a devil. Got nothing to do with forgiveness. Oh! You got an unrepentant pedophile in the family? No, you are not obligated to be around that. To prove to everybody that you forgave everybody. You don't know if he's still doing it. Oh, she's still doing it. But this is what we do every year. Every year. It doesn't make sense. You can't determine what your level of joy. You can't determine your level of peace. You can't determine your level of thankfulness based upon none of that foolishness. Because there's no scripture in the Bible that supports it. So why participate in it? Why invest all your resources and energy and time in it? Show it to me in the Word. At the end of the day, show it to me in the Word. Prove it to me in the Word of God where I'm supposed to do this. And then Winona will consider it. Winona will repent and say, oh, okay, I see it in the Word. Lord, forgive me. But if you can't show it to me in the Word, then no. Get out of here with that. I just made my decision. And that's why I could survive Christmas and don't participate in none of it. And don't feel like I'm missing out on anything. But what about the kids? You gotta talk to your kids and tell them what's up. Tell them the truth. And most of them kids know that there's not really a Santa Claus. Come on now. Kids are not emotionally wounded for life if they don't participate in Christmas. I promise. They're not. They're emotionally wounded if you make them hang around pedophiles that happen to molest them every November and December because you make them go to Christmas festivities with the family. And the dude in the family who plays Santa Claus is a dude that like to touch kids Yeah, your kids can be emotionally wounded that way, but I promise you, your kids are not gonna be emotionally wounded because they ain't got no Christmas tree and they ain't got no Christmas gifts. I promise you. I promise you that. And then, yeah, oh, well, that's why I take my kids to the homeless shelter and we feed the homeless for Christmas. Okay, that's nice. That's wonderful. You teaching your kids that there are people that are less fortunate than them, and they need to think about those kids and those people and be more compassionate. That's great. That's wonderful. I applaud you. But let's keep that spirit of giving going all year long. Send your kids off for the summer to a foreign country so they can see how other people are struggling and not living in homes that they live in. You know, we got to stop making people feel like they don't do this and they don't participate in that they're failures of some sort. That's not true. And that's why we got a whole bunch of entitled kids in this country that will go to school and shoot up all their teachers and classmates because we made them feel entitled. Oh, it wasn't because they didn't celebrate Christmas. These kids that's going to the school shooting up everybody come from very, very well to do affluent households. The dude who shot up all those babies in Newtown, Connecticut, his family had money. If you can live in Connecticut, especially in the Newtown area, yeah, you gotta have money to live like they was living. And that mama of his let him feel like he was entitled to certain things. And then had an arsenal of guns in their home. The reason why she got shot is her fault because she didn't practice wisdom. Why will you have an arsenal of guns and you know that something's wrong with your son? An arsenal? You know at any moment he could snap. Anyway, I'm getting off topic. People, be grateful for what you have. Be grateful. Find reasons to be grateful and be thankful for what you have. Don't feed into this spirit of so called Christmas. I'm not hating. I'm not telling anybody else don't do it. If that's what you do, go ahead and do you. But don't force other people to do it. And I'm just trying to help people inoculate their mind and fortify their minds and their spirits so that they could survive yet another so called Christmas season. You're going to be all right, I promise. Don't fall for the depression. Don't feel some kind of way because you can't do this and you can't do that. You are a great mother. You are a great father. The Christmas is not real. It is not necessary to be partakers to prove to anything to anyone. Your kids love you immensely. They just want you there. They just want to make sure that they're taken care of. They got a roof over their head. They got food to eat. They know God. They got clothes on their back. And you love them unconditionally. They got everything they need. I promise you, it's going to be all right. Oh, I don't have nobody. You got Jesus? Sometimes it's best to be alone. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it's good to be alone so that you can know who you are and you can get to know who Yah is in your life. And God has somebody for you, He'll send them eventually. Just be thankful. Be thankful wherever you are. It's going to be all right. You have a great day.